Welcome back to the Art of Living with a Dog. Today's episode is all about something that quietly shapes your dog's entire experience with you. It's called wait, but it's not what you think. Tamara's about to walk you through a series of powerful questions that shift the focus from control to connection. Let's get into it.
Hi, everybody. I wanted to just go through about 10 or 11 things that I oftentimes tell my clients. I call it WAIT, WAIT, and it's not wait in the traditional sense of a, so-called command, but it's an acronym for what am I teaching? So, the next few things that I'm going to go through, it really is a matter of taking a step back, doing some self-reflection, and also looking at your dog through, or looking at the world through your dog's eyes. And because everything that I do and my approach really is about both ends of the leash, it's important to always be asking yourself, what are you doing and what role are you playing in how to help your dog? So I have a bunch of things jotted down. I'm I tried to keep them in order of what I believe are the most important, but when it's all said and done, it really is about what you can put out there for your dog because your dog will mirror what you're putting out there. Excuse me. So, number one question under this umbrella of what are you teaching is ask yourself, what habits are you developing? So, what habits are you developing on your end? And what habits are you allowing or ignoring for your dog that your dog is doing? So, I'll give you a little example. You have a puppy and they're on a harness, a collar, what have you, and you're walking them. And they're just walking and sniffing and seeing people and seeing dogs and but they're pulling. And dogs are not born knowing how to walk on a leash. So before you know it, that little puppy is now a larger, heavier, stronger dog. And yet the same approach is being taken when you take them outside. So without this going into a whole video on how do you teach your dog to not pull on a leash, um, all I'm saying here is just it really comes down to being aware, self-aware, and having good environmental awareness. So if you have had a dog for X amount of years and your dog is pulling on a leash, that's not your dog. That's something that you completely overlooked. And that's why your dog is pulling on a leash still. The other side of this is acknowledging your dog. So when I go back to the top question here, which is what habits are you developing? Are you being aware of all of the many things that you could be acknowledging, like your dog is looking at you, your dog lies down, even if you didn't ask your dog chose to not jump up on the counter or to not jump on a person. Those are all really good opportunities that you can use to acknowledge and just say to your dog, good boy, good off, good sit, good come, whatever it might be. Number two, are you acting like a leader? Leaders are the best leaders are those that lead through gentleness. So its strength is in gentleness. When I see someone that is leash jerking or screaming at their dog, or worse yet, that's not a leader. That's not how a cohesive pack works. And that dog with those types of dealing with those types of behaviors are confused and they're scared. So ask yourself, are you acting like a true leader? Number three, does your dog know he or she can trust you? And this might sound like kind of an obvious question, but if our behavior is erratic, it's really hard for a dog to trust us. Another example is if we have meltdowns, our dogs are really not sure, are we high? Are we at a low point? I just read an article that kind of fits into this category, which is the detrimental effects of arguing in front of a dog. So, are you arguing in front of your dog? Because if you are, then that does create anxiety. It creates stress. It is short-term and long-term consequences, but it's also an element that creates an environment where a dog does not feel as if they are comfortable and they can really trust what's going to happen next. Number four, have you made it a point to cultivate the relationship that you have with your dog? And I know a lot of times my clients, included friends, family, people focus on, well, I need to teach my dog how to walk on a leash. I need to make sure my dog is friendly around other people and other dogs. I need to make sure my dog, learns stay. And that's not important when it comes to having a dog. Those are very easy ancillary cues and things that you can help your dog learn. But when it's all said and done, like I've said many times before, and it'll probably get a little old hearing it, but it is worth repeating, is having a dog and raising a dog or rearing a dog has nothing to do with training and everything to do with learning. And in that learning is the relationship, that bond that we have with them. Um, Number five, are you acknowledging all the good that your dog does? I did mention that earlier in number one, in what habits are you developing? But this, I can't underscore this enough because, when, and I think it's just human nature when we see something that even a child is doing, even a spouse, a housemate, whoever, we point it out and we say, why did you do it that way? Stop doing that. And so that's very easy to do. And sometimes we just need a reality check to say, okay, hold on. My dog is doing a great, he just came to me with a good recall, or he's sitting calmly right now during dinner. Let me acknowledge that, because if you acknowledge it, excuse me, if you acknowledge the behaviors that you deem acceptable, your dog is going to repeat them. Number six, is your home a safe haven where your dog can decompress? This came up the other day in that article I was writing about arguing in front of your dog, and it is important. So, do like a house scan. Is there music that's playing much too loud for your dog? Are there children running in and around where the dog is residing, where the dog doesn't feel safe? Is there arguing going on? Are there chemicals that are being used in the home? So all of those things are important to consider. Number seven, are you helping your dog acclimate to your world? So what does that mean? Oftentimes we bring dogs into our home and we're trying to get them to live within our world, but we're not giving them any useful guidance on how to live in our world. And then we wonder, well, why are they rushing to the door, and why are they knocking people over, and why, when we have them on a leash, are they dragging us down the street? And then you get a prong collar, and then you're hurting your dog, and then your dog wants to keep everyone away from them because they have a prong collar on. And then there are all these vicious cycles that just continue to go on, and your dog becomes more and more confused, and it's harder and harder for them to live in your world. So the question of what am I teaching, and and how are you helping your dog acclimate to your world? Think through everything that comes down to how it will impact your dog. So, one quick example here is, um, you're going to have to bring your dog to the vet at least for wellness checks, and you don't want the only time your dog is going to the vet to be when your dog is going to the vet. So make these extra little, I call them field trips or outings, where you put your dog in the car. You have a little bag of real chicken, not dog treats, not no bones, nothing like that. You put your dog in the car with like a rotisserie chicken, minced pieces of a rotisserie chicken, and you go into the vet office and you stay, or maybe not even the vet office if your dog is stressed. You might just pull into your vet's office parking lot and then you feed your dog a few pieces of the chicken and then you leave. This is like a 3 to 4 minute outing. And then the next time you go back, you go up by the door and you repeat what I just went through with the chicken. They don't have to be doing anything. They don't need to be in a sit stay. That's just not realistic. Um, and then the third time you go, then you go in. Maybe you can find somebody at the front desk to feed your dog some of the chicken. So then they're getting desensitized and acclimated to the people there. If you're bringing your dog or you want to bring your dog to a soccer game, it's not fair to your dog just to bring your dog to a soccer game and stay there for the 45 minutes or longer. Go to the field where the game's going to be played, let them get some scent recognition, do the same thing I suggested with the vet and the treat the bag of chicken, and then you gradually build up to a certain time. So that's how are you helping your dog acclimate? The next one is your dog learning life skills as opposed to tricks? And I see this a lot when people fill out my intake forms, which is um, they'll say, my dog knows how to sit and roll over and give paw and you know, uh, and stay. The problem is that the dog doesn't know anything about living life. And living in your world and living in your house. They don't know what to do when someone comes to the door. That's all part of learning. They don't know what to do. Back to the vet, they don't know what to do or what to expect at a vet office. They're startled by recycling and sanitation workers. Why? Because the trucks are large. They're noisy. The men usually wear neon vests and what have you. So these are all things that are our responsibility to help teach our dog. Um, Next one, how consistent are you? Dogs thrive on consistency, just like young children do. And if we're not consistent, our dogs are not going to be consistent. An example here is if you are trying to make sure that your dog doesn't jump on people, then you need to make sure that you're not greeting your dog or you're not giving your dog affection while allowing your dog to jump on you. Um, you also have to make sure that when your dog does jump on someone else, you're redirecting them so that they're not getting rewarded for jumping. So just really be consistent, and that's going to help them. Um, Next one under what am I teaching? Are you using life rewards when you're helping your dog learn a habit or a behavior? And what is a life reward? So that would be if you want to um, teach your dog to wait at a doorway before a doorway is before you're going through a doorway, not for any dominance reasons. That's ridiculous. That's a myth. We're not talking about that. It's really for a safety issue. You never want to just let a dog out a door, just like you wouldn't let a toddler, a 2-year-old, go out the door without you checking or you going out first. So in regards to teaching and using life rewards, a life reward would be if you're trying to work on a doorway, like I just mentioned, then the life reward would be, okay, then we're going for a walk, or okay, we're going for a car ride, presuming that your dog likes to go for a car ride. And then, are you setting your dog up for success, or are you setting your dog up for failure? I gave this example in another video where I have clients oftentimes where they have a dog that is counter surfing, and then this would be, these particular examples are when I go into certain clients' homes for an in-home private, and I walk into the home and the entire kitchen counter has food everywhere on it. That's setting your dog up to fail. If you are trying to house train your dog and you just open your door and you let your dog go outside, you're setting your dog up to fail. Your dog has no idea what to do. They're not a mind reader. It's not a natural behavior for them to not go to the bathroom in the house. And you're setting them up to fail. So, how do you set them up to succeed? In the counter surfing, you have a clean counter. And you also are watching your dog by the counter. And the bathroom example, you actually take a leash, you hook it up to your dog's collar or harness, and you go outside with them. And you go outside for just a few minutes and you go to a bathroom spot and you give them the opportunity to go to the bathroom. And if they don't, you bring them inside and you hang out with them on a leash, or you put them in the crate very calmly for a few minutes and then you repeat it. So that's how you set a dog up for success. And then the last one is, does your dog get to be a dog? So I'm just going to leave that with you so you can think about it, because what I see oftentimes is that dogs sadly are not allowed to be dogs nowadays. So I hope you can take everything that I've laid out today and give your dog the gift of being a dog.
Thanks for tuning in. If today's message gave you a new perspective, go ahead and like this video and let us know in the comments what resonated most. Don't forget to subscribe for more episodes. And if you're ready to dive deeper, check out the links below. Until next time, keep learning, stay aware, and lead with love.